So let's get into the dressing room of Manchester United. This is where the most important guys on a football match go. So this is the home dressing room. As you can see, the corridor leading to it is so tight, so close. It's an intense atmosphere. You even feel the tension when you go there. The door, there are some rules here. The door is first of all self-locking. They don't just allow anyone in here. So that's why you have to be quick. Then that's where it all happens. So here is the dressing room where Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, name them, all the greats you can think of sat. So uh, each player has got their seat where their jersey is. You see Mason Mount, that's where he sits. That's his locker. Puts his stuff there. Facundo Pellistri, that's where Anthony Martial sits next to Pellistri. Next to Anthony as well, Dos Santos. Then next should be, who is this now? Scott McTominay and Kobe Maino. They sit next to each other, probably because they play close to each other. Maybe they need to communicate. I'm not exactly sure what they base on to decide who sits next to who. But yeah, Kobe has got his place already. It's so unfortunate that in terms of merchandise, there's not so much for him. It's together with Bruno. Yeah. So I'm assuming if Scott is not starting, Casemiro will sit where his jersey was. That Leandro Garnacho, then Rashford next there. Then Hoyland sits next to Christian Eriksen. Yeah, probably it's a language thing. They're both Danish boys, so maybe then on the other side they're not done. There is a fridge here with some water and some juice, then some energy gel. Should be, I think, acceptable. Not any energy stuff is allowed, certainly, because you'll be arrested for doping. So it's there, it's locked. You can't just open it. This is strictly for players. Then next there is Andre Onana, number 1. That's his spot. Then next to him is Diogo Dalot. The defenders, of course, sit on the same side. Understandably, you've got to have your moments to discuss after a terrible first half. Rafael Varane, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, then that's Johnny Evans, then Martinez next, Lisandro the Butcher, then Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire. So you can see Victor Lindelof. This is the side of the defenders. So Casemiro is here, and Amrabat, and that's the door. There's a clock as well for them to count the time. Then the dressing room is not so wide. It's as you'd expect. Of course, in the center there's a Man United logo, but as you'd expect, it's quite narrow. Then, so just behind the home dressing room, this is the corridor now behind where they walk to go to the tunnel where they come out from to enter the pitch. Now this is where back then the drama would happen with Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane. So that is the home team that way. So that's where Roy Keane would come from, and that is where Patrick Vieira would come from when Arsenal had visited Man United at OT. And yeah, you can see they are facing each other. And so the players are in close range. So that's where they line up with the kids who they march on. Then behind me is where the interview areas are. But this is where the real gist of the whole thing is. So we are going to go into a session. We are going to stand side by side, form 2 queues, and we march. They play the exact music. They will play for us the exact music they play for the players. That's the same music they played when Man United was taking on Tottenham. They always play the same ambience for the players to be psyched up and get into the match mood as they march onto the pitch. So I want you guys to listen to it. This is the ambience. Listen to that. That is what happens on match day. Then the teams march. This is exactly what happens. Then the teams match side by side. That's the sound playing. Psych the players up. Then they come out in the tunnel. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. It's show time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go get them. Old Trafford is full and buzzing. Let's go get these boys. Ha! So, this used to be the old tunnel from 1910 to 1993 before things were changed to that tunnel that you just saw where the players walked out from. But this is the interesting thing. Well, Erik Ten Hag changed a few things. As a manager of the club, you have the rights to change things as to please you. So before, this was the home side. This was the away side for the away team. But Erik Ten Hag changed things and requested for it to be switched because he wanted to be closer to to that dugout, but also to his technical area, which I think makes sense. Why would he have to come from far the other side? He's at home. Another interesting thing is that most managers, Sir Alex Ferguson, Louis Van Gaal, used to sit in the chairs you see back at the top. That is where managers would sit. But Jose Mourinho, even Erik Ten Hag, I think, sits there at the back. But Jose Mourinho used to want to sit on the first seat here, if you remember. So that he was so animated, so he would quickly run and go to the pitch, bellow his instructions. A dramatic guy. So this now is the VIP area. This one you don't buy a ticket for special people invited. Now the Glazer family has the most seats. Obviously, you can see their names there. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe sat there as well. His name is on his seat. Sir Alex Ferguson sits there. It's the directors area, if I would say. So you can see the Glazers. They own this thing. So they have seats are even in the best view, the vantage view of the stadium. Then this side is the away team directors and the big people like the national team coach Gary Southgate will sit there. So these are the other people now, the other important guys. Daniel Levy for Spurs comes to the Stan Kroenke. If you came to watch an Arsenal game, would sit there. Uh, Probably their CEOs and all. Then below here, where you see the red seats just in front of these directors, uh, guys, the season ticket holders who are platinum season ticket holders. These are people, they've got their names on those seats, but this should be all old people because you must have had a season ticket for 25 consecutive years for you to become a platinum season ticket holder. So they are the ones who go there. So, and this is the way to the media room where the interviews are done. We can't